Hello everyone. Welcome you all for the video lecture session on module 5. The title of the module here is Joint Probability Distribution and Sampling Theory. So in this today's session we shall discuss about the joint probability and how do we find the joint probability distribution of two random variables and etc. So let us see the introduction first. So what is joint probability distribution is? So we have come across probability distributions like we have seen binomial distribution, normal distribution, exponential distribution as well as the Poisson distribution also. So if you can recall all of those, they all are related to discrete random variables as well as continuous random variables. And one more thing we need to observe there is the discrete random or a continuous random variable was taken for consideration was only one variable. Whereas if we deal with more than one random variable at a time, then this joint probability distribution comes into the picture. As the name itself says, jointly distribution of two random variables. So the random variables, two random variables will be considered and both will be discussed at a time. So which is called as a joint probability distribution to understand on an overall basis. So what exactly the distribution says? The joint probability and the joint probability distributions will be dealing with two random variables x and y. Let us say x and y are the two discrete random variables which we are considering. So we define the joint probability of these functions, of these variables x and y. It can be represented as p of capital letter X is equal to x and capital letter Y is equal to y. This probability of two variables x and y. Probability of two variables x and y, where x can take the values in terms of small x and y can take the values in terms of small y. The other way of representing this probability distribution of two random variables is f of x comma y, where this f of x comma y, the joint probability function, must satisfy the condition that the all values of the function, that is the probability function, must be greater than or equal to 0. They must be the positive values and they can be equal to 0. And summation over x, summation over y, f of xy is equal to 1, means sum of the joint probability distribution values functions should be equal to 1. So probability distribution over x and probability distribution over y together, when it is considered, the probability function values, the sum should be equal to 1. When these two conditions are satisfied, then P, which is equal to f of xy, is called as a joint probability distribution. So how does this joint probability distribution look like? So it is better explained within a form of a table. So take here, there are two variables x and y. The values of the values are y, which is assigned, have been taken in the horizontal way, and the values of x have been taken in the vertical way. So here J represents the probability function, joint probability function of x1 and y1. So x1 is in the first element, y1 is also first element, so it is J11. So in this J11, you can understand that this J11 here, the first one is with respect to the x, the first random variable, and this one is with respect to the second random variable y. The first value of the random variable x, x1 has been taken, and the second random variable y1, where the value of y, y1 has been considered. Similarly, 1 and y2, x1 and y2. So it is J12. Similarly, your next will be J13, J14, likewise. So joint probability distribution of first value of x with all the values of y are being noted down here. Similarly, let us go for second value of x now. The second value of x with all the values of y, that is y1, y2, y3 and so on. So now second here 2 represents the second value of x, 1 represents the first value of y. So J21, then J22, likewise and so on. We can, how many ever the values of x and y we have, so it will be J2n. Proceeding further like this, there are m values of x and n values of y. So it will be jm1, the mth row, first column, mth row, second column. And similarly, this last row, last column gives us jmn. So now, the one more thing that we need to understand here, the joint distributions, what we have obtained here, if we add these values, we will get marginal distribution of x1. And the second row, when you add all the elements, it gives the marginal value distribution of x2. And next row will give x3. Likewise, this gives marginal distribution value of f of xm. These values are marginal distribution of x. Similarly, if I add the columns, this column values, then we get g of y when this is marginal distribution value of y. For what y1? This is at y2, marginal distribution of yn. And sum of all these marginal distribution of y and marginal distribution of x should be equal to 1. If this condition is satisfied, that is what we have told you here. The same thing has been visible from the table also. This is a speciality of joint probability distribution table. So I was telling you f of x1, f of x2 and so on, f of xm are as the marginal distributions of x, and g of y1, g of y2 and so on, g of yn as marginal distributions of y. What exactly these marginal distributions are? So f of x1 is adding the first row elements. So you can observe this x value is fixed here. First value of x, first value of x and so on, first value of x. Where y values are keep changing. You can observe 1, 2 and so on up to n. When I add these elements, the joint distribution of these elements, which gives us f of x1. Similarly, if we add the columns, you can observe y value is fixed here where x value is being changing. That is at g of y1. Similarly, f of x2, g of y2 and so on, f of xm and g of yn. So, this f of x1, f of x2 and so on up to f of xm and g of y1, g of y2 and so on up to g of yn are called as marginal probability distributions of x and y respectively. These g values are the marginal distributions of y and these f values are marginal distributions of x. Okay, so now there are few definitions which we need to know before we get into the problems. So there are few definitions in that. Very frequently used are expectations, variance and covariance. So what are these actually? So let us see first expectation. So x is a discrete random variable which takes the values x1, x2 and so on up to xn, which has the probability functions f of x. Then the expectation of x, e of x, which is denoted by e of x, or it is also represented as mu x. And we define this as e of x is equal to summation xi into f of xi. E of x, expectation of x is equal to summation of xi into f of xi. For I takes the values, how many ever the values of x have been given. So if there are 5 values have been given, then I takes the values from 1 to 5. Likewise, I takes the value 1 to any number. So that is about our expectation. And variance of a random variable x, we denote it as v of x. And we define that as v of x is equal to summation xi minus mu the whole square into f of xi. So mu here is the mean and xi here is the values of x for different values of I. And expectation of xy. So we have seen expectation of single variable x. So if it happens to be in jointly expectation of xy, then it is summation xi yj. There are I values, I takes the values 1 to n. Similarly, j takes the value 1 to m. So both xi into yj into jij, joint distributions of x and y. So e of xy is this formula. So then, if x and y are the random variables having mu x and mu y respectively, then the covariance of x and y are denoted as this, covariance of x comma y. And this covariance is defined as, it is expectation of xy minus mu x into mu y. Mu x is mean value over x and mu y is mean value of y. So knowing covariance, we can also define correlation. Correlation of x and y can be denoted as a row of x comma y, and we define this as covariance of xy by sigma x into sigma y. What is sigma x and sigma y? They are standard deviations of x and y respectively. So noting that, there is one point that you have to remember. If x and y are independent random variables, if they are independent random variables, then e of xy can be written as e of x into e of y. That is expectation of x into expectation of y. And if covariance of xy happens to be 0, then obviously the correlation also becomes 0. That is rho of x comma y will be equal to 0. So based on these definitions and the basics which we have learnt, let us see few examples for the better understanding. So first problem, the joint distribution of random variables x and y is given as follows. So joint distribution, there the x values have been given in rows and y values have been given here. So it has been given as 1 by 8, 1 by 4, 1 by 8. So we can write this as J11, J12, J13, then J21, J22, J23. What is asked us to find? It has asked us to compute expectation of x and expectation of y. Expectation of xy, sigma x and sigma y, covariance of xy, and a correlation of x and y. So we shall start solving one by one. So we have to, first when you look at the question, we have to find e of x and e of y, that is expectation of x and expectation of y. The distribution, that is the marginal distribution of x and y, are obtained by adding the rows. By adding all the joint distribution values in row, if we get a f marginal distributions of x. And if I add the columns, we get the marginal distributions of y. So first let us find distribution of x. So the distribution of x is, so you can observe the given problem, the values of x given are 2, one is 1 and 5. And the corresponding values of f of x we have to obtain from the given table. So let me show you the given table. So here are the values of x. So it has to be interchanged here. So this is x and this is y. Okay. If you observe, the values of x are 1 and 5. There are 2. And the values of y are 5, 2 and minus 4, 2 and 7. There are 3 values. So I takes the value 1 and 2, whereas j takes the value 1, 2 and 3. So if I add the rows in this way, I'll get f of x1. And if I add the second row elements, we get f of x2. If I add the first column, then we get g of y1. And the second column gives us g of y2. And the third column gives us g of y3. So knowing all these things, we will be able to write the marginal distributions of x and y. So consider the given problem and write down the set for x. Xi, there are 2 values, 1 and 5, and the corresponding marginal distributions values by adding the rows, we get 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. Similarly, there are 3 values of our y, minus 4, 2 and 7, and by adding the columns, there are 3 columns, by adding the columns we will get these values. So this table is for marginal distribution of x and this is for marginal distribution of y. So it was asked us to find e of x and e of y. That was our first sub question. Expectation of x. So by the formula we know e of x is summation over I xi into f of xi. So we know I takes, there are 2 values of I. So I is equal to 1 and I is equal to 2. So from this formula, when I is equal to 1, I get x1 plus x1 into f of x1. And when I is equal to 2, we get x2 into f of x2. So what is our x1 and x2? This is our x1, this is our x2, and this is our f of x1 and this is our f of x2. So we have all the values. When we substitute and simplify, we get expectation of x to be 3. Similarly, we have to find expectation of y, which is summation over j, yj into g of yj, where j takes the values 1, 2 and 3. So when j is equal to 1, we get y1 into g of y1, plus when j is equal to 2, we get y2 into g of y2, plus when j is equal to 3, y3 into g of y3. So we know all the values. So here is g of y1, g of y2, g of y3, y1, y2, y3. So we can substitute and simplify. On substituting, we get expectation of y to be equal to 1. So now it was asked us to find expectation of x, which is 3. Here is, and it is also represented as mu x, and e of y, which is 1, and it is also represented as mu y. So expectation of y is 1. So the first sub question has been solved. Now we have to do second one, which is expectation of xy. So by the definition we know it is xi into yj into jij. So when we have I is equal to, so we all know that I is equal to 1 and 2 and j is equal to 1, 2 and 3. So first we can substitute the value for I and later you can substitute the value for j. So if we do so, when I substitute x is equal to, I is equal to 1, x1 into yj plus x2 into yj. So I have just given a value for I, 1 and 2. So now we can substitute the value for y as 1, 2 and 3. So x1, now I'll give a value for j as 1. So it is y1. For next, I'll give a value for j as 2, x1, y2 plus, and j is equal to 3, x1, y3 plus. Now I'll go to second term. Here this term x2, y1 plus x2, y2 plus x3, y3. So now we all know all the values, so we can substitute and simplify. On simplifying, we get expectation of xy happens to be 3 by 2. Okay, so here we also have jij. So this jij also should be considered along with x and y with the same values for I and j. So all the values are known, and substituting and simplifying we get this as 3 by 2. So now let us find sigma x and sigma y, that is standard deviation of x and y. So directly there is no formula to do it. So we have to find the variance. From variance we can arrive at standard deviation. So sigma x square, it is e of x square minus mu x square, and sigma y square is e of y square minus mu y square. So we know e of x square, the formula is xi square into f of xi. So e of x square, give a values for I, it is x1 into f of x1, x1 square into f of x1 and x2 square into f of x2. So x1 value is 1 and x2 value is 5. 5 square is 25. And f of x1 value is half and f of x2 value is half. On simplifying, we get e of x square as 13. Similarly, e of y square is summation yj square into g of yj. So substitute the values for j, which is 1, 2, 3. So when j is equal to 1, y1 square into g of y1 and y2 square into g of y2, y3 into g of y3. So substituting and simplifying, we get this as a value. So sigma x square is 13 minus 3 square, because mu value we have already evaluated, which is 3 square. So 13 minus 9, which is equal to 4. Similarly, sigma y square is e of y square minus mu y square. So e of y square is 79 by 4, which we have evaluated now, and mu y we have found the value to be 1. So sigma y square is 75 by 4. So sigma x square is 4 and sigma y square is equal to 79 by 4. We need the sigma x and sigma y value. Take the square root. So it is this gives us 2 and this gives us 4.33. So similarly, it was asked us to find the covariance by the formula, which is equal to e of xy minus mu x mu y. So e of xy is 3 by 2, which we have evaluated. Mu x value is 3, mu y value is 1. So the answer is minus 3 by 2. So covariance is this. And then it was asked us to find correlation, that is rho. Rho of xy is equal to covariance by sigma x sigma y. We already know all the values. So covariance value we have obtained here, it is minus 3 by 2. Sigma x and sigma y we have obtained in the previous sub-equation, which is 2 into square root of 75 by 4. So on simplifying we get this, and simplifying further we get minus 0.1732. So that is how we have to work out the problems. Depending on the question asked, we have to proceed to get the solution. So thank you all.